Do you know the Christmas carol, O Little Town of Bethlehem? Well, of course you do. At least I think so. And that's where I am going today. Right now I'm going through a checkpoint on the way from Jerusalem to this city in central West Bank, Palestine. While for international tourists it's usually a breeze, no visa required, it is quite an opposite situation for people living in Bethlehem. Their movement is severely restricted, and unless you have a job in Israel, it is very, very difficult to get out of the town. Here I am at the intersection of two major roads or streets. Close by, the driver who took me in minivan from Jerusalem dropped me off, and I will walk now downtown to Manger Square. Bethlehem is a small city located just 6 miles south of the old city of Jerusalem, and it's an Area A zone administered by the Palestine Authority. The town attracts pilgrims worldwide on account of its description in the New Testament as the birthplace of Jesus, whom Christians believe to be Messiah and Son of God. Bethlehem is revered by Jews as well as the birthplace and hometown of David, King of Israel. And this is why majority of people come to Bethlehem. This silver star underneath the Church of Nativity. Originally this was above the ground, or almost above the ground, but the church was built in the 4th century, I think, by Helena, mother of Constantine, the emperor, the first emperor who converted to Christianity. And it is in the so-called grotto of the Nativity. To enter and exit this cave, visitors must navigate rather steep marble steps and pass through 6th century bronze doors. So this is the place where the silver star is. This is the place where most of the visitors to Bethlehem, if not all, come. This is the reason why they are coming. They believe this is the place where Jesus Christ was born. And I stepped back to observe for some minutes, and I saw that it brings emotions in many visitors. People were crying, shaking, mumbling, praying, kissing the silver star, putting their hand in the middle. It was simply overwhelming for many of them. The midnight mass beamed from Bethlehem to television viewers worldwide on Christmas Eve is celebrated in the Church of St. Catherine of Alexandria. That church works both as a parish and a Franciscan monastery. In 2012, UNESCO listed the birthplace of Jesus, Church of the Nativity, and the pilgrimage route Bethlehem as a World Heritage Site. And this is where I am right now, in the Church of St. Catherine of Alexandria. The Church of Nativity, which shares Manger Square with the 15th century Church of St. Catherine and 1860 Mosque of Omar, is almost 1700 years old, if I am not mistaken, and it is one of the oldest, if not the oldest, Christian church in the world. It was captured by Israel in the 1967 Six-Day War. Since the 1995 Oslo Accords, Bethlehem has been administered by the Palestinian Authority. The city has more than 2 million visitors every year. In 1852, Roman Catholics, Armenians and Greek Orthodox were granted, sometimes very uneasy, joint custody of the Church of the Nativity, with Greek Orthodox being given specific responsibility for traditional grotto of the Nativity. Christmas rites are held in Bethlehem on 3 different dates. December 25 is the traditional date by the Roman Catholic Church, and Greek, Coptic and Syrian Orthodox Christians celebrate Christmas on January 6 and Armenian Orthodox Christians on January 19. And Protestants often hold services at Shepherd's Fields. But I think you can pretty much find all the information online. So now I would like to share with you my little story from Bethlehem. It is about a bathroom. I bet no one ever talks about this topic while talking about Bethlehem. So here it is. I needed to make a pit stop. Number 1, mind you. But I couldn't find any public bathroom in the town center. Couldn't find my go-to place, McDonald's or similar. So what's plan B? Well, a restaurant. There is one right to the left of the entrance to the Church of Nativity. But it turned out that to get in, I had to order something. It was an upscale place after all, and no charity for pilgrims or tourists. I can always use a good cup of coffee, but I was not willing to pay $10 for the privilege. So what's the next step? There is a municipal building at Menger Square. That sure must have some toilets available. But no signs pointing me to the right place. No one speaks English, and unfortunately, I don't speak Arabic. My bad. But finally, salvation in sight. A sign in English. But disappointment again. The public toilet the sign was pointing me to at the back of the local government building was closed. Based on the amount of garbage in front of the door, it had not been in use for years. But salvation did come. I asked a random man walking by for help, and he offered me to go with him to his store. He was a butcher up the street and was going to his store. So my great thanks to him, and I actually stayed in the market area where his store was for a while, talking with local merchants and drinking coffee and listening to their stories. It was very nice, and I felt quite welcome. At the end, I even had a little fight with the man, since he wanted to pay for our coffee and didn't want to allow me to pay. So it may seem a little weird that now whenever I hear the name Bethlehem, I not only remember the historical church and all that comes with it, but also the friendly folks of Bethlehem and what led me to meeting them. So I think this is it for today. I hope you liked the video, and if you did, give it a thumb up. If you didn't, thumb down, and you can even subscribe if you haven't done so already. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.